So what's been in my glass was other than wine is not so much really, but now we're both getting into Glen Moray, right? Into the Twisted Vine and the new one, the Phoenix Rising, and a couple of new warehouse one casks.
Yeah.
The Rioja Cask matured and Peated Rioja.
Yes, man.
Yeah. So we're trying really a couple of sort of budget drams, 40%. Twisted Vine and Phoenix Rising. Twisted Vine is.
I would say it's not their entry, because their entries are so dirt cheap at the moment. I don't even know what the retails are.
No, but I mean entry generally in the market. I mean,
yeah.
Twisted Vine might be about £25 or something. So
that's, I mean, I was gonna say that's expensive for Glen.
Is it?
If you look at the normal ones, like
yeah,
16, 17 quid in Tesco.
Yeah, okay. So, but it's still a cheaper whiskey, isn't it? It's 40%. It's a bit more interested. So that one's got cognac casks in the mix, and then the Phoenix Rising has charred oak casks.
It's used bourbon barrels and then brand new bourbon, brand new bourbon oak. So
yeah. So we're just trying those as we go through it, and then also these new warehouse one bottles.
So what are you thinking about this Twisted Vine cognac cask?
I mean, immediately, like, raisins, still dry fruit, isn't it? Dry raisins, dried figs, that type of stuff.
Still buckets of like custard and stuff on there as well. Stuff. I keep saying stuff.
Maybe.
Are you not getting vanilla? I'm getting loads of vanilla.
You get vanilla, but more often I'm getting the raisins and the dry raisins and the dried figs, really.
That tastes higher than 40.
Yeah, I think both of them do, actually. This and the Phoenix Rising. This one, lots of tiramisu on the nose.
Nice. Yeah. I think now you said it. That's literally all I can smell.
Bittersweet. More of the dry fruit coming through on the palate. Yeah, bittersweet. Some tannins.
That is proper sweet and sour, isn't it?
Yeah. Sour, I'm not sure. Bittersweet. It's like you get that tannin, that wood spice in there. And it finishes on really more sort of, it's kind of those little coffee biscuits you get. Kind of
the almondy ones,
biscotti or something like that.
Yeah.
No, not the little square ones, like the little flat ones you get.
Biscoff.
Also Biscoff. Biscoff. Now we're talking.
Biscoff. That was Bisto you were on about there.
Biscoff.
Biscoff.
That'll be the Biscoff. That'll be the Biscoff. It finishes on like a Biscoff. I'm next time at a coffee shop, I'm going to do that. That'll be the Biscoff. It just gives me that more of the dried fruit. It's good. It's very good, but I think I prefer the Phoenix Rising, which isn't to say that this one isn't a good whiskey. It's good 40% whiskey.
We haven't tasted it yet.
I have. Where else you going at them?
I'm gobsmacked how much that hides the ABV.
You get sort of creme coffee type taste on the palate, and maybe like sort of Christmas mix. Like there's so much dried fruit going on. It's hard to tell which one's in there. But
do you think that the bitterness tricks you into thinking it's a higher ABV because it's got that like astringent feeling?
Maybe. I tend to sort of compare it, if I have to look it up. I think it's about sort of £25, maybe £28 most, sometimes £22, so that kind of range. But if you're getting it for sort of 22 to 25, I think really it's excellent.
Yeah. And I think we've done previous ones with the Murray with David
because of the cognac cask. Exactly, because of the cognac cask, it's like super interesting, right?
Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Like it. Yeah, decent. It's a tick for the Twisted Vine.
But I think you're about to be very excited by the Phoenix Rising. What a name for a whiskey as well.
Phoenix Rising. This is about Harry Potter fans freaking out.
I'll say it so you don't have to. Just mad Bounty chocolate bars on the nose. Just loads of it.
It is Bounty, but there's also Kinder Bueno in there as well.
Oh, Kinder Bueno, milk chocolate, white chocolate, caramel.
Oh,
I love it.
Bueno and Bounty.
Yeah.
That is a great.
There's like a hint of kind of pepper or spice on there, but the
Mate, that nose is lovely.
Yeah, and we have to say as well, this is with thanks to
Once again,
Glen Moray, and
Glen Moray,
Steve
Glen
Rush.
Moray,
Tweet tastings. Yeah,
and Big Steve. I think
yeah,
I'm
big Steve.
gonna create an intro tune for Steve Rush now for his tastings.
Right.
Maybe it's like we interrupt this broadcast for another Steve
Yeah,
Rush.
we interrupt this broadcast for another Steve Rush
Tweet tasting.
supplied tweet tasting. But seriously, this is excellent.
And mate, I sounded like Yoda just then, but all that goes through everything on the nose. All those chocolate bars are there. Again, there's a bit of fiery, like ginger or peppery heat in there.
Yeah, there's a bit of firiness, but I get sort of like the main thing I get on the palate. And once I noticed it, I couldn't forget it. It was just sort of creme brulee, but like really strong on like the caramel side of things. Maybe like millionaire shortbread.
It's like, when you get the what are they creme brulee? No. What's the things you get in France? The little in yogurt pots. You tip them up, and they're like a jelly.
Oh, yeah. With
Because
the creaminess in there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's got the caramel on top, but it's slightly sour, where it's just tipped over caramel and there's a hint of sour.
Is it safe for me to search online French creamy dessert? I don't know.
French creamy brown. I'm trying to think. They're not creme caramels, are they? Is it creme
I'm just
caramel?
looking at them now. Maybe it's creme caramel. Try that. It might be creme caramel. It is creme caramel. Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. Creme caramel.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
creme
like-
caramel. Yeah. More than creme brulee. I think you're right.
And again, it's got that bitterness in there.
But less
that
than
I
this one.
think, yeah, it's not as bitter, but it still makes that ABV, or it makes you feel like there's more of an ABV going on.
You
there's
get on the
that
finish,
fire.
that creme caramel goes right way to the fruit to the finish, as does the milk chocolate and the sort of the coconut taste. It's just that you get maybe a bit of oak, slight hint of sort of pepper. It's good.
I'm happy with that.
It's sweeter, this one, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
So if you wanted a less sweet
whiskey.
one, you go with the cognac cask. If you've got less sweet tooth, you go with the cognac cask. If you've got a sweet tooth, you go with the Phoenix Rising. And I think if you've got a sweet tooth, you would be over the moon with the Phoenix Rising.
If you're having
over
a
the moon.
meal, get in your twisted vine as a palate cleanser in between starters and main, and then get yourself a Phoenix Rising for dessert.
It comes in when you have first sip, comes in slightly not hot, but there's obviously a slight bit of like the sort of alcohol, and then it sort of subsides. I do wonder if there's one, but might just be my glass, ever so slightly sort of soapy note, but there should be. It's not grain, but maybe like a sort of fairy liquidy type note in the palate that fades. Do you get that? I think I get that ever so slightly. Like it's really tiny. It's not too noticeable, but it's just there a little bit. So what I'm saying is, if that note wasn't there, then it would be really outstanding.
It's like people get Parma violets a lot, but it's not.
Right.
It's not as strong as a Parma violet, but it's like a toned down.
Kind of. I'm saying it's more like fairy washing up liquid.
Yeah.
Just ever such a slight note. I'm just saying it's not perfect, but it's very good.
If you have a quick lick of an imperial leather soap bar, well, just a quick one.
Oh, and actually, that soapiness hangs around slightly on the end, whereas the cognac cask didn't have any of that. It had the sort of bitter tannins. This one has a slight kind of fairy liquid thing / you've licked a bar of imperial leather soap.
The fanciest of all soaps.
Yeah, it's funny what your mind concentrates on. Before I was concentrating on the creme caramel.
Yeah.
Now I'm sort of focusing more on that.
I'm still basking in coconut glory because there's loads.
Yeah, very good nose. So do you want to try this Glen Moray Warehouse 1 Rioja Cask matured for the wine cask pervert?
Do you want to start with the peated one?
No, I'd finish on the peated one.
Come on. My banter knows no limits. Okay. Ooh, have I actually picked up the peated one? No.
Oh, it's just quite bold, isn't it?
Yeah. Loads of char. Loads of blackcurrant raspberry.
Lots of blackcurrant. Something else, kind of a plumminess as well. Is there plums in that?
Definite plum.
Like dark plums.
I haven't had plums in ages. I'm gonna buy.
It's very jammy, isn't it? It's like plum jam.
I'm gonna say this nose is a very, very good nose.
There's a lot of
It's not Christmas. It's not Christmassy, Just make that clear from the off. It's not like a sort of that you normally associate with sherry. Obviously, being Rioja, totally different. It was one of my favorite wines. I love Rioja. So astringent and dry and oaky.
Oh,
But
there's tons of caramel in there as well. Again, loads of it. Like actual like heaps of it. Again, like that creme caramel. Like,
yeah,
but this time with the plums, blackcurrant, maybe some cherries.
I'm quite excited to get into this one.
I think the nose is fantastic.
I'm diving. I'm diving in.
Oh, that is hot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's was it coming about 58%?
Right, I didn't know the ABV. That's a jump.
Yeah.
58.8.
It's quite quite sort of tingly on the palate.
I think had I been expecting it and prepped for it, a bit different. I might go in.
Blindsided.
I thought it was going to be 46.
Just gone from 40% to 58%.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a 46%. I didn't even
It's
look at that.
It's strong. You know, wine casts are hit and miss for me. I think the nose is amazing. The palate,
super spicy. Loads of tannins, which you would expect, obviously, from the red wine, from the Rioja. It's quite a tannin sort of oaky wine. So
there's sort of dirtiness on the palate, isn't there?
I really like this.
Is that a sort of like cigar-y typeness or something on the palate?
I'd say there's more cigar at the finish. There's definite tobacco, with a bit of like coffee.
Kind of dries out, doesn't it?
Yeah, really astringent at the back.
Yeah, astringent, definitely. And then maybe a bit of like coffee grounds, cigar, like that type of thing, like on the finish.
Goes back to that thing we just said. Like, this is not a 20-minute whiskey. This is not one you want to just be like, boom. You want to chill out with these stronger ones.
You definitely want to sit and sniff this one for a while because the nose is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That said, should we try the peated one?
Let's go and ruin the palate.
Let's ruin the palate. So clear it with some water, some dark chocolate. Top tip, dark chocolate.
Oh, mate. Milky Way stars.
This is
campfire.
Is this the same? This is Rioja Cask finish as well. It's just a different year. So this is 2012. And the other one's 2015.
And with Pete.
Yeah.
You don't have to drink it with somebody called Pete. That is strictly optional.
Sort of caramel toffee again. More toffee, maybe.
What is that in there? Milky Way stars. You know, they're like chocolate, but there's like a hint of sweetness in there.
Very milky chocolate.
Like, there's like, I've said it again, like the soury sort of note that you get in Milky Way stars.
It's a sort of gentle smoke, isn't it? It's not
barely picking up on any smoke. But I think because again, the last
so what's all that sweetness in the nose? What are you getting there? That's really sweet.
There is massive. It's almost like perfume.
Yeah, like you're right, kind of like a perfume sweetness.
But it doesn't hit you initially. It's like in the background. Red grape. That's exactly it. Oh, obviously, sort of bloody red wine. What the fuck are we on about? Did we just say that?
Yeah. Red grapes.
Decent. Well done.
Decent. Red grapes. Yeah. Red grapes. Yeah.
Red wine's got to be red grape, isn't it?
Red grape. With smoke. Yeah. Loads of sweetness. Yeah. Like it.
That genuinely just shows that the flavors do translate down. What a pair of idiots we are.
But there's more in there. There's more fruitness in there than just red grapes. And that sweetness is coming from somewhere. It feels almost sort of slightly artificial.
You know the smell when they're doing.
I'm just going to give it a try.
Stuff.
Definitely a bit of peat. Spicy, plummy. Yeah, that's the kind of cigar thing. There's a lot of similarities between these two, which makes it very interesting. Like, they're not the same, but there's a lot of crossover between the sort of Riojas. That kind of cigar note for me is there on both of them on the finish.
Yeah.
It's just that this one has peat. Yeah.
So I wonder if tannin in wines kind of then shows itself as a cigar-y sort of note.
Maybe it's just Riojas. It has the fruit comes back right on the finish that sort of keeps going.
Hey, I like this.
Maybe a bit of peach on the finish. Like, really, it's peach and peat. and tobacco, sort of
That
cigar
sounds like a
cigar
modern
smoke.
Essex couple on holiday in Marbella. Oh, Pete, we got to check in. My name's Peach and this is Pete.
It's Peach and Pete. Peach and Pete. Pete likes smoking a cigar, and
Yeah.
Peach, well, she likes to drink whiskey because this is 2023, right?
No offense to anyone from Essex. Sorry, Steve. I know you live there now.
Yeah. Well, again, so sort of
Really good. Different. Really different.
yeah, super interesting to see them side by side. And actually, this one's not that peated. Don't know what the ppm is or any of that kind of stuff, but it's easy to go from that one back to another whiskey. It's not heavily peated at all. It's maybe lightly peated. It's more, yeah, lightly peated.
Dive back into the non-peated. That's now just like sweetness through the roof.
Oh,
I think these need like
oh my days. The nose on that non-peated Rioja cask. Now, all that's that creme caramel again. Like, I think that Phoenix Rising is an absolute banger 40% whiskey. That's what I want to put back in my glass now. Because the creme caramel on that one and the bounty bars. See, 40% whiskey can be all right. It doesn't, you know,
100%.
I've had some really good older ones, older 40%ers. I think it's just sometimes these days it's just that they don't
And
have enough
again,
taste going on.
diving from the near 60%
Oh, I think
back to a
I have to pick a
40.
favorite. But if I have to pick a favorite, I think my favorite, and cover your ears if you're against 40%, is probably Phoenix Rising. Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. The warehouse one ones are super interesting, but they need a bit more time in the glass. I'm going to leave them, let them have a wee sit. But loving the red fruits, the plumminess, the cherries, and
The
sort of cigar
plumminess.
yeah, good stuff. All right. So,
Yes.
main topic of the pod today.